Got to come on the show first. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another Bears show. It's fucking Packers week. Fuck Green Bay. Let's get a big victory here today. I'm pumped up. I know everybody in the chat's pumped up. I've been getting messages, been talking shit to my wife and my daughter. I look, just kind shit, not, too harsh. They are Packers fans, but I am so ready for this game. It feels to me like I've been rejuvenated in my Bears fandom coming into this week, just for the simple fact that the Bears have an opportunity to knock out the Green Bay Packers and end this season on a high note from the depths that it started at, to come all the way crawling back and fighting back, and to get a victory against Green Bay would be a nice going away present until next season. But before we go ahead and jump into things, let me go ahead and let you know, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Go to www.thetapeneverlies.com and become a patron today. There will be no halftime show, unfortunately. I think, shit happens. So on the fly, there's some changes. So sudden change here at the Tape Never Lies. No halftime show for the patrons today, but the boys will be on and ready for BHL right after the game. So let's go ahead and get into things. Last week, the Bears had a big victory, beat the Atlanta Falcons 37-17, but there was also a victory for the Green Bay Packers as well. They beat division rival Minnesota pretty handedly, 33-10. Jordan Love, 72 completion percentage, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, I have to go ahead and correct myself. Jordan Love at the beginning of the year was a little bit up and down, but, so far after the loss to Pittsburgh, where he threw 2 interceptions, he's been pretty consistent. Only 1 interception since that time. He's been a model of consistency at the quarterback position. But the thing is, the key, I believe, today is, once again, getting him off his mark and trying to make him force the decisions that he's making, right? Try to put pressure on him with Montez Sweat. The Bears defense is a different type of animal than the defense that they saw game 1. Montez Sweat is going to be a huge factor today. But not only that, the Bears are number 1 in the league in interceptions, right? So the biggest thing for me is to continue to do what has gotten you here on defense. Try to put pressure on the quarterback and seize the opportunities when given in the passing game as far as interceptions are concerned. Now, do I feel like Jordan Love is going to come out here and just light our asses up? No, I don't believe that. But you have to kind of give him some credit as a football player, as a football analyst. I love the game, right? It's not lying, like that. It doesn't lie what's on the football field. Jordan Love has been a better quarterback, a lot better quarterback, the second half of the season compared to the first half of the season. Now, for me, how do you continue this uptrend for the Chicago Bears on offense, right? How are you going to continue in the face of your biggest rival up north? You're going to enemy territory, no man's land. How are you going to overcome the offensive doubts that you've had, and some of the mishaps that you've had earlier in the season? It's just continuing to do what gotten you here again, and that's running the football, utilizing Justin Fields in the running game when you can, but trusting that the defense is going to put the offense in position to succeed is a huge part. But the offense needs to be able to put the ball in the end zone when given the opportunity. And, that's been one of the things that one of my big bugaboos this season is that the offense sometimes just doesn't do the simple things, right? We can have these long drives, 16, 17 play drives, where they go in, they get a touchdown, and then you'll get an interception, sudden change, interception. We're in the driver's seat, and we're settling for field goals. The execution isn't right, or the play calling is questionable. Whatever have you, that needs to be said and done. I'm wearing my Justin Fields jersey today in support, because, to be honest with you, people want to downplay the severity of this game. I think it's very important to this decision making come this offseason. I think it's probably, in my eyes, it's probably Justin's biggest. We keep saying this week after week, but it's the biggest game of his life. It's I obviously think that Eberflus is going to stick around. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not saying either. I'm just saying with what he's done with the defense, I think he's going to stick around. But going back to Justin, this is it. Like, you have to go out there and slay the dragon and beat Green Bay and put up, and put on a performance on the football field that generates confidence from this fan base. That's all we want to see, is consistency, and you'll gain our confidence. So I need to see back-to-back games, Justin Fields protecting the football, quick decisions, quick releases, accuracy. I need to see that tenacity that he had last week against Atlanta. I need to see it again here against Green Bay. Let me go ahead and get into some of these comments. Love to see you guys in the chat. Tony, FTP, as always, of course, FTP forever. Senpai guy, fuck Green Bay, of course. It's going to be a litany of F Green Bay. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through this. F Green Bay. Everybody's screwing the Packers today. And you know what? Rightfully so. What up, Coach Dre? To be honest with you, I didn't want to get too high and on this show. I didn't want to be like emotionally, I'm like, through the roof, but I can't help it. I can't help it. The excitement that I have right now, I hope it's not a big letdown. Like Tonic Coker said, I'm nervous, Ivan. I hope that we beat the Packers the way my Tigers beat the Razorbacks yesterday on the court. Yeah, I want an ass whooping, man. I mentioned it before. My prediction was 32-20. I think the defense is going to be very dominant. I think the defensive secondary is going to find at least 2 interceptions. Just the way that they've been playing, the way that they've been drawing pressure on quarterbacks and putting them in tough situations. I could see 2 interceptions from Jordan Love today. What I'd like to see from Justin again, using his running backs in the short passing game, right? When he feels duress, dump it down. Trust in them. Don't try to, do too much on your own. I know he's trying to create, but there's certain times where it's like, hey, man, if you would have just dumped down, Johnson would have had 10 yards. Johnson would have got you, or Khalil Herbert would have got you 7. Or, we're not going to have Deontay Foreman today. Unfortunately, I'll get to the inactives in a second. But just the little things like that. If we could continue to see that and continue to see growth from Justin Fields, the more I'm going to feel confident that he can be the quarterback moving forward. And we can use our assets in this draft to gain more draft picks and really begin to build the depth and talent on this football team. I feel like the Bears have been more talented than some of the teams that they've played this season. A lot more than I would have imagined at the beginning of the year. But you need more, and you need more in a lot of places, not only on the offensive line, but you need some help on the defensive line. Come next year, you want to add another pass rusher. You need help at the wide receiver position. Darnell Mooney, who knows where he's going to go. So there's a lot to still be had with the Bears as far as the rebuild is concerned. But I think that they're in a great position right here, right now, in the moment. Here's the inactives for today. I think if they could take care of business today, you'll see a turn in the fan base, and it's a specific way that they need to go ahead and take care of business, right? Dominating fashion, in control of the game. I think that the Chicago Bears, with a beatdown today, changed the national outlook on them. It gets people talking about them even more without the number 1 draft pick. So it's really a trampoline that the Bears can take, a big jump that the Bears can take forward if they were able to secure the victory today. Darnell Mooney out, Deontay Foreman out, Greg Stroman Jr., Jatari Carter, Tyson Bagent, Quindell Johnson, and Jalen Johnson are all out today, all inactive. So it's going to be tough. I did not see Jalen Johnson out earlier, but I guess it's going to be a tough one for Stevenson. I think they're going to go ahead and put Smith on the other side. But you can't look. You can't go ahead and put your heads down. It sucks that Jalen's out, but you still got Montez Sweat. You still have a very solid defense all around. Mentioned it before. Just try to get the quarterback off his mark and pick and get some turnovers. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with some of these questions here in the chat. As much as people want to say, but no Mooney is going to be tough too. You're right. You're right, MVP. I think that Darnell has gotten the shit end of the stick this year, whether it's on him or the play. I don't know what it's been for Darnell Mooney, but I don't hate him as a player. I just you just wanted more. You expected more, and you never got it. We never got it. So Darnell, yes, it will be tough, but how tough? He hasn't really been productive all season. Maybe his presence out there, maybe as a teammate, it'll be tough. But I don't know how much he would really affect the play on the football field with the lack of productions that he's had all season long. George, I should have beaten. Well, we should have beaten Cleveland, who has a great defense. So I'm not worried about the Packers. We should roll them. Look. I'm telling you, it's a. I don't go out on a limb and say, oh yeah, we're gonna blow out the fucking Green Bay Packers. No, it's just the way I've been seeing things. The Vikings aren't great. They're obviously in actually a good battle here today against Detroit, but the Vikings haven't been great. The Packers have been up and down this season, even with the consistent play of Jordan Love. The defense has struggled. So all in all, I feel like the Bears have an opportunity to put a butt whooping on the Packers. But we'll see. We'll see. Bob, what's up, buddy? Hit the like button, of course. Everybody, please hit the like button. Like, share, and subscribe to The Tape Never Lies. We appreciate all the support. Micah, the receivers will need to help DJ Moore because he's going to get doubled. Green Bay is not Arizona. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. And part of why, and I know I'm skipping a little ahead to the future, part of why I said if Justin can have a big game, and you decide to move down with that number one pick, right? Gathering playmaking talent, whether it be, Marvin Harrison Jr., who I would love, or Neighbors, or Roma. I can't pronounce his last name, but you know what? All the playmaking wide receivers that are in the draft come this offseason. I think that's a huge focus because you're going to continue to see DJ Moore get doubled. The lack of production from Darnell Mooney did not help this season. So you're going to continue to see this more and more. And him having a career year, you're thinking going into next season, that's going to be a point of emphasis for defenses playing against the Chicago Bears is do not let DJ Moore beat us. So gathering more talent, gathering more playmakers, in my eyes, is a must this offseason. Let's see, JF1, ready for JF1's last game as a Chicago Bear? I don't know, Lucas. We'll see. We'll see. Everybody has their thoughts. Like there's a lot of like extreme hate going on out there on the Twitterverse or the Xverse and stuff. But I'm just whatever they do, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt, right? If it's Justin, all right, Justin, you still have a lot to prove. If it's Caleb Williams, I'm going to sit here and tell you I'd want to see it. Prove it to me in the NFL. I don't give a shit what you've done, in the college game. Prove it to me in the NFL, and then I'll go ahead and get behind you. This is probably going to be the last quarterback jersey I buy as a Chicago Bears fan, unless the dude wins a Super Bowl, because I just don't want to. I seen a picture today of a Browns fan with the 37 quarterbacks that they've had in the past 20 years. And I just don't want to. I don't want that. I don't want that. I've seen Bears fans do it too, but I don't want that anymore, man. It sickens me to think that the Chicago Bears still can't get it right. And it would just, let's not go there. Let's just focus on the Packers today, focus on good things and getting a victory. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and slide on out of here. Just a little, like I said, just a little heads up. The halftime show will be canceled today. There will be no halftime on the patron side. So everybody go ahead and show up after for BHL. Shane and DDP will be on immediately after the Bears Packers to give you their thoughts. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully DDP obviously he's going to have a rant, but hopefully he has a little bit of a positive rant after the Bears put a whooping on the Green Bay Packers. A couple more of these questions, these comments, a little out of subject. Do you think we have a chance to land Harbaugh since he wants to okay GM as well? I think he wants to take over GM as well. Look, I like Jim Harbaugh. If he's our coach next season, hey, cool. I don't know what I mean. It probably signals that everything's getting changed. But for me, if they pursue him, expect big changes immediately. I would expect Justin probably to be gone. And obviously, the coaching staff's going to get the hell out of here. He's going to wipe the slate clean, bring in his own guys. I like Jim Harbaugh, man. Like I mentioned before, look at the production that the Bears have given you on defense. Look at the job that Eberflus has done with the locker room. He's kept the guys together. They're fighting for him at the end of the season after, like I said, the miserable start that they had. It's probably a little of a stretch at this point in my eyes to think that they're going to go out and scrap this whole thing and bring in Jim Harbaugh just because it doesn't make sense to me that you build a certain type of culture in the locker room. You're building a certain type of culture on the field, especially defensively, and you go ahead and wipe the slate clean that way. It's not my words. It's Ryan Poles' words. It's Matt Eberflus's words. It's even Kevin Warren to an extent. It's their words. You have to pay attention to what they say and decide for yourself. And for me, I truly believe that they believe in Matt Eberflus 100%. And if you look at the past, they gave Matt Nagy his 4-year contract. They gave him 4 years when he probably should have been fired after 2 or 3. So you got to think about who's operating the show, who's in whose corner. They're going to give Matt Eberflus the benefit of the doubt for his contract. It's just what I see. It's just what I see. It's who they are. It's how they operate. Take it or leave it. You could call me an idiot. You could say what it is. And I'm not saying you are, Adrian, but be diligent in what we are talking about, right? When you're doing your research on the Bears, they say the same things, right? They tell you as much. They don't tell you what you want to hear, but they tell you what they want you to hear. And that to me is everything that I've heard is we're going to keep Matt Eberflus. We want him to be the head coach, and that's that. So I don't expect a huge coaching shakeup. As far as a quarterback is concerned, we'll see. Like I said, I think Justin still needs a big day today in order to tip the scales a little bit more in his favor. Just if for nothing but the confidence factor and the consistency in his gameplay that we could see moving into next season. Let's see, Tony. JF is the worst quarterback in the fourth quarter in the NFL, only behind Bailey Zappi. I understand that, but you still got to change, right? He wasn't bad last season, or he wasn't bad last week. You still need the consistency. Also, I feel like the play calling and some of like I said, it goes hand in hand. Justin hasn't been great in the fourth quarter. Those are facts, but I still think it goes hand in hand as far as what the Chicago Bears want to do in the fourth quarter. Some of the conservative play calling doesn't really settle well with me, and some of the times where they don't allow Justin to throw down the football field and actually attempt to make a big play kind of goes with it. But nonetheless, Justin has to execute as well. If we lose this game, Eberflus can pack his bags because we're getting Harbaugh. Hey, we'll see. Like I said, Eberflus isn't my favorite, right? He's not my guy. He's not somebody that I'm going to go ahead and be like, you know what, we're all completely wrong about Eberflus. He's the greatest coach ever. He has his flaws, and we've seen his flaws. But to go out and say he hasn't done what the Bears have asked him, and he hasn't kept the locker room together, and they don't fight for him, it's just it is what it is, man. They clearly fight for him. They clearly like him, and so does the front office. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the Bears don't lose today's game and they put an ass whipping on the Packers, and we all go home happy. Love hashtag Bears fan first. I would love to see the running game have a great day. Of course, the running game is going to be a huge factor in today's game. Gilberto, the Houston Texans are going to the playoffs with rookie C.J. Stroud. Yeah, okay. Yes, they are. So I don't know what to say to that. Fuck the Packers. Of course, everybody's going to be all fuck the Packers. We want this one, boys. Of course, Mike, whatever decision they have made, I believe has already been made a few weeks ago. I think the Bears have been connected with Harbaugh's people for a while. It's going to be this. See, this is what's going to be for the rest of the offseason until we actually find some concrete. We get some concrete evidence in the postseason press conferences. But again, I would like Jim Harbaugh. I wouldn't be so disappointed. I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't be pissed off. I would accept it because I like Jim Harbaugh, and I would probably be I'd be more happy to know that they made a decision and stuck with it than sitting around and like kind of mulling about. If it's Eberflus, tell us it's Eberflus. If it's going to be somebody else, well, then you fire him Monday, like a Band-Aid right off. You know what I mean? Put everybody on notice. Don't, let it last a week. Do it on Monday. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. It's fun to talk about. Jim Harbaugh will probably go to the LA Chargers if he decides to go to the NFL next season. LA has been a target. Obviously, they have a good quarterback over there. Defense is and the playmaking is there with Austin Eckler. You have, oh my God, I'm forgetting the wide receivers. I know you got Mike Williams, but Mike Williams is often hurt. And I'm forgetting my God, why am I forgetting the other wide receivers? Like Keenan Allen as well. So you have some playmakers if they can stay healthy. Adding a guy like Jim Harbaugh, I think, would be a huge step forward for a team like the Chargers. Honestly, I wish we were in the position that – actually, I don't wish we were in their position because they clearly couldn't stand Brandon Staley. Lost the locker room. It was kind of a shit show for LA this season. So, it's just the situation they're in. They know that they don't have a coach. They clearly have a vacancy. We, as the Chicago Bears, they believe that they have a coach. They've seen progression on defense. They've seen, this young roster, this young roster grow and stay together. So I believe that they're leaning towards keeping Matt Eberflus, rather than going ahead and breaking everything up and changing or destroying what he's built so far in year two. And I know everybody's like, well, he's been 2 fucking years. And you saw what last year was, man. You're going to give him last year too. I mean, I'll say this. They should have won more games last season. They fucking didn't. I was hoping that they started off hot. They didn't. But when they got going, when the defense got going and it was in Matt Eberflus's hands, things started to change. Then they get Montez Sweat and things really start to change. So to me, I feel like if you go ahead and scrap this project that you started with Eberflus, you're going to lose the locker room. You're going to have a lot of, disenfranchised guys that just feel like, hey, man, like we thought we were building something here. We had a tight-knit group. We were all fighting for together, and you went ahead and you took a leader out, similar to what Justin Fields is to them and how the situation is. It's a very delicate situation in my eyes. So, Ray Rojas, the Packers can suck my ditka. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. Enough of me talking. Go ahead and enjoy the football game. Just watching the Lions and the Vikings right now. It's kind of a close one. It was a close one. 30-20 at this point. Third down for the Vikings. Bears right around the corner after this game. So go ahead and enjoy. Crack open a beer. Do whatever you guys got to do to prepare. I'm going to go lay my butt down for a second and pop on the game. So enjoy, guys. Bear down. Bears should win. Like I said, prediction 32-20. Hopefully it comes true. And the Vikings Lions are probably going to be over right now with the interception. So Bears coming up right away, guys. Peace out.